This is part 2. One of the greatest battles for the preservation of this republic was fought out here in the Jackson's time, when the Second Bank of the United States, founded on the same false principles of those which are here exemplified in the Fed, was hurled out of existence. After that, in 1837, the country was warned against the dangers that might ensue if the predatory interests have been cast out should come back in disguise and unite themselves to the executive, and through him acquire control of the government. That is what the predatory interests did when they came back in the livery of hypocrisy and under false pretenses obtained the passage of the Fed. The danger that the country was warned against came upon us, and is shown in the long train of horrors attendant upon the affairs of the traitorous and dishonest Fed. Look around you when you leave this chamber, and you will see evidences of it on all sides. This is an era of misery, and for the conditions that caused that misery, the Fed are fully liable. This is an era of financed crime, and in the financing of crime, the Fed does not play the part of a disinterested spectator. It has been said that the Drotsman, who was employed to write the text of the Fed, used a text of the Aldrich Bill because that had been drawn up by lawyers, by acceptance makers of European origin in New York. It was a copy in general, a translation of the statutes of the Rich's Bank and other European central banks. $500,000 was spent on the part of the propaganda organized by these bankers for the purpose of misleading public opinion and giving Congress the impression that there was an overwhelming popular demand for it and the kind of currency that goes with it, namely an asset currency based on human debts and obligations. Dr. H. Parker Willis had been employed by Wall Street and propagandists, and when the Aldrich measure failed, he obtained employment with Carter Glass to assist in drawing the banking bill for the Wilson administration. He appropriated the text of the Aldrich Bill. There was no secret about it. The text of the Federal Reserve Act was tainted from the first. A few days before the bill came to vote, Senator Henry Cabot Lodge of Massachusetts wrote to Senator John W. Weeks as follows. December 17, 1913, my dear Senator Weeks, throughout my public life I supported all measures designed to take the government out of the banking business. This bill puts the government into the banking business as never before in our history. The powers vested in the Federal Reserve Board seem to me highly dangerous, especially where there is political control of the board. I should be sorry to hold stock in a bank subject to such denominations. The bill as it stands seems to me to open the way to a vast inflation of the currency. I have hoped to support this bill, but I cannot vote for it as it stands because it seems to me to contain features and to rest upon principles in the highest degree menacing to our prosperity, to stability in business, and to the general welfare of the people of the United States. Very truly yours, Henry Cabot Lodge. In 18 years that have passed since Senator Lodge wrote that letter of warning of all his predictions have come true. The government is in the banking business as never before. Against its will, it has been made the backer of horse thieves and card sharps, bootleggers, smugglers, speculators, and swindlers in all parts of the world. Through the Fed and the riffraff of every country is operating on the public credit of the United States government. I'll repeat that. Through the Fed, the riffraff of every country is operating on the public credit of the United States government. Meanwhile, and on account of it, we ourselves are in the midst of the greatest depression we have ever known. From the Atlantic to the Pacific, our country has been ravaged and laid waste by the evil practices of the Fed and the interests which control them. At no time in our history has the general welfare of the people been at a lower level, or the minds of the people been so full of despair. I hope this is sinking in, man.